Step 9 is to start building a following. Step 9 out of 12. This is towards the end. Only at step 9 does it make sense to really start working on building a social media presence and or building an email list. Sure, you could do that stuff beforehand, but the problem is that you're focused on too many other things. I like to recommend that actors get right to the point and they do the most important things that will give them confidence and let them really start booking roles that they're proud of and excited by. And all of that stuff is about figuring out your brand and starting to submit and meeting the right people and all of that. The social media stuff and the email list stuff, that comes much later on, once you know the ropes. If you try to do that stuff at the very beginning, you're going to be wasting way too much time trying to build up that and not enough time focused on what really matters. And B, you won't ever have the sort of experience behind what it takes to create a successful acting career. And that's going to kind of cause you problems. So let's say, for instance, that you got lucky and you created a viral video, right? And suddenly you have 100,000 followers on Instagram and you use that following to get booked in a really awesome role, right? Sounds like the dream. But the truth is, I caution actors against a quote lucky break, because when you get that, you see it all the time. Actors who have the lead role in a huge film, then you never hear from them again. They get this amazing break, but they have no idea what to do with it. Sure, it's nice to get paid some money or whatever, but think about it. I mean, there's plenty of actors out there who've gone through this process, and because they never had the initial understanding of what it takes to really build up some level of success, they get lucky, which again is extremely rare and probably won't happen, but if it did happen to you, they get lucky and then suddenly it just poof, disappear again, and no one knows what happened to them. So I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to wait on social media and building up a following until you have a really strong base behind you. The social media and following is something that should come as a result of a successful acting career. A successful acting career does not come as a result of successful social media. Step 10 of the actor's journey is that you will begin raising your day rate and negotiating for larger and larger roles and projects, okay? Because now you've started to build up that following and you have a demand for yourself, you can actually negotiate for higher day rates, higher fees. People will want you in their projects, and that is where you start to have the power behind you. So again, the order of these steps is very, very carefully thought out, and if you look at successful actors who consistently have success and they started from nothing and worked their way up, they all follow this very, very closely. Step 11 is that at that point, once you've started negotiating higher and higher rates, you're going to just naturally start to get bigger and bigger roles, of course, because the bigger roles are where the money is. So you can start performing in Broadway, lead roles in feature films, recurring and series regular roles on television. All of that stuff starts happening in step 11. Finally, step 12. As you start booking those bigger and bigger roles, you're going to go back to continuing to build up that following. And once you have at least 50,000 to 100,000 people following you and you're consistently booking these big roles, now you can start moving up the ladder. And that involves, starting to win awards and get recognition, potentially hiring a publicist and all of those other really cool things. But that's step 12, okay? So that is the 12-step actor's journey. And again, I think it's really helpful to just kind of have an understanding of how it goes from start to finish, because it's kind of, you're all over the place. You have no idea what to do. I mean, personally, I wish somebody could hand me a playbook of okay, step 1 for being a successful filmmaker is blank, or a successful photographer is blank. Step 2 is this, step 3 is this, because then you at least have some sort of roadmap. And that's what I've tried to do here by studying lots of successful actors actors and my actors that I've coached and worked with, this 12-step process is laid out in a very, very specific way. And if you follow it and you don't start trying to go out of order and be like, oh, I'm going to skip 5 of the steps because I just want to start booking work, as long as you follow it, you will actually see results. Sure, it might take 3 years, it might take 5 years, even 10 years. But as long as you're methodical and you don't give up and you're hyper clear, you keep your number one goal in mind, you will eventually get there, as long as you make sure that your training is good too, okay? So hopefully this video was helpful.